The science behind desexualizing your mind. 4 steps for me when it comes to desexualizing your mind: quitting porn, mindfulness, meditation, and lowering your gaze. Quitting porn is very self-explanatory. When you give up porn, or at least have the intention to give up porn, you are no longer dealing with porn. And when you give up porn, you are releasing yourself from that sudden rush of cheap dopamine you get from anticipating and watching porn. And you are no longer having that drop of dopamine when you ejaculate, when you finish watching porn. That drop of dopamine will bring cortisol into your life, the stress hormone, and will lead your life to be more dull. You have more anxiety, more frustration, more sadness, more depression, and more apathy in your life. The thing with porn is the more you watch, the more pain you will have. And the more you have pain, the more you will watch porn, because it's a vicious cycle. Because the way you deal with pain is, generally speaking, go towards your addiction. So it is a cycle that you need to break. Your dopamine receptors get used to you watching porn, and you get desensitized. You have dopamine D2 receptors. They get fewer over time and less addiction. That is why you have more pain in form of cortisol. And that what leads you to feel frustration, anxiety, a certain level of dullness, and apathy. And the way you deal with all those lower vibration is by watching more porn. And that is how it becomes a vicious cycle. And when you give up porn, you are breaking that cycle. And you are releasing yourself from all of this. Now, it will not be so easy at the beginning, but that is when you have meditation that will help. Meditation does a lot of great things for your mind and your brain. Meditation strengthens your prefrontal cortex and increase the gray matter you have in your brain. Your prefrontal cortex is in charge of making decisions. When you watch porn, when you numb yourself with all those distractions. In this video, we're talking about porn. You numb your brain and you decrease the strength of your prefrontal cortex. You make unwise decisions. Meditation does the complete opposite of numbing yourself with all that cheap dopamine. It strengthens your prefrontal cortex and therefore make wiser decisions. Not only that, when you meditate, you reach a state of desirelessness. You reach a level of stillness, and you are able to let go of those urges when they come up. You have to understand, when you want to watch porn, when you anticipate watching porn, that is the moment when your brain releases the most dopamine. That's why your cravings are so strong. And by meditation, you are able to understand that you just need to outweigh the moment. When you outweigh that moment, you will see those cravings will get weaker and fade. And over time, when you let go of this sensation, that craving, it will decrease in quantity, quality, and intensity. That craving will not be as strong. And even when it comes, it will not release that much dopamine. You are strengthening your prefrontal cortex and therefore decreasing that craving. Therefore, you won't want to watch porn as much. That is why meditation is so essential when you want to desexualize your mind. And obvious, you become more still. It develops those loving emotion, compassion, that compassion inside of you, that loving and kindness, empathy inside of you. Meditation helps tremendously. When you watch porn, you objectify women. When you objectify women, you are objectifying female body parts. That's why porn is full of fetishes, the boobs, the ass, the feet, what is between the legs, because porn is filmed at a certain angle. That is why we develop fetishes, because that is what arouses us when we watch porn. And when you meditate, you decrease that objectification. And with the other step, lowering your gaze, you decrease it even more. When you see an attractive, sexy woman on the street or on Instagram or in a movie, you lower it. It means you look away. You do not look back and you do not linger. Because when heterosexual men look at an attractive woman, it releases dopamine in your mind. Becomes kind of a compulsion and an addiction. By not doing so, by lowering your behavior, by not looking back, by not lingering, you quit addiction to that dopamine rush you get when you look at a beautiful woman and an attractive woman, and therefore decrease the objectifying of women. And that's what we all want as men. And the fourth step is mindfulness. When you are mindful, you are present. Whatever you do, you stay present. You don't let yourself distract with fantasies, with dreams of the future, with past memories. You stay fully present. And the more you focus your mind on the present moment, the more your brain will release joyful dopamine, that reward, because you are staying fully present in the moment. You are not letting you distract. That's what the present moment is, where you get your energy and happiness. You see it when you are tired. When you are tired, you have less energy, you are less happy, you're more irritable. The opposite is also true. When you stay fully present, it's honoring the present moment. You are having so much energy, so much gratitude of being in this present moment, that your mind is energized. And that's why you find true happiness. Try it out for yourself. The more you do it, the happier and peaceful you will be. Less objectification you will do when it comes to women, the freer you will feel when it comes to those urges. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Sebastian, your addiction recovery coach, and I'm here to help those of you who want to give up porn, sexualize their mind, and other compulsive behaviors addiction. Thank you so much. Links at the description box.